What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and I want to talk about The Rise of Skywalker. It is Sunday night. We got the box office results this morning to kind of see how it did on its second weekend. Everybody wants to know what's the opening weekend drop, how much it did Christmas Day over the holidays, how it compares to previous Star Wars movies, including The Last Jedi. I don't know why I'm wearing headphones. I will take these out. I don't have to talk to anybody right now. So that's what I want to talk about, and I want to tell you why, even though it's just a little behind Last Jedi, why that margin is going to increase, and Last Jedi is about to pull away next week. If you didn't know, we're going to do a little box office breakdown. I'm not Odin's movie blog, but I will do my best. So Star Wars box office, how Rise of Skywalker's second weekend compared to previous movies. Everyone knew it would top the box office charts again in second weekend. The questions were: one, how much would it make? Two, how much would it drop? And three, how would it compare to the second week performances of past Star Wars movies? And this is all about all the other stuff. We don't care about that at all, other than Jumanji had a really nice box office. It actually went up from last week. Back to Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. That 72 million is above is from this domestic 3-day weekend. 5-day total from Christmas, 134.7 mil. So far, Rise of Skywalker has made 361.8 million at the domestic and 863 worldwide for 724 million. So over 700 million in its first week and a half, which is a lot of freaking money for a regular movie. But not for the finale of the Star Wars saga as it's being advertised. This should be doing ridiculous numbers, and it's not. Pretty great, right? Sure, that 36.1 through 10 days is 6.3 million behind Star Wars The Last Jedi. That's only like 1 or 2%. That is not a lot. It is just barely behind Last Jedi in its projections. But you see here, it had Last Jedi had a larger opening, 220 versus 177, but a steeper drop. The drop-off was over 60%. This Rise of Skywalker is only 59. However, people are saying Rise of Skywalker scored a minor second weekend win, and I can kind of see where they're coming from. However, you have to look a little deeper into everything. Now, we see here, Rise of Skywalker opened on December 20th. That day is important, because when you look at that, you realize that Christmas was on the first week, so they got to include that. Look at this huge bump, up 58% from the day before on Christmas Day. Christmas Day is a huge day, and it was released only a couple days before that. So Christmas Day is in, when you make those comparisons, the Rise of Skywalker's Christmas Day is involved, which is always a big day. Now, you look at the following day too, the day after Christmas, also $30 million, huge. Everybody's off work, everyone's celebrating the holidays, everyone's together. Now, The Last Jedi, what you have to remember when you look at it, it released on, what day was that? It didn't even say here, but here it is, December 15th. It released on December 15th, which is 5 days earlier. Now, what that means, I go all the way down through Sunday, because this is what we're comparing. That was Christmas Eve. Look at the bump that it had for Christmas Day, up 55% on Christmas Day. This Christmas bump is not factored into Last Jedi's comparisons yet when they look at Rise of Skywalker to The Last Jedi. So what I think we're about to see is a normal Monday for the Rise of Skywalker, but it's going to have to be factored into The Last Jedi's increased Christmas haul. Because you can see it did 27 on Monday and 27 on Tuesday, just like we saw those big numbers for the Rise of Skywalker. So I think that maybe when people are saying, oh, this is a huge win for everyone, all that stuff, they're not quite looking into it. Although I do agree that drop is less, it's because you're factoring in that holiday boom. Obviously, The Last Jedi, which was released 5 days earlier, got that holiday boom in its in its first week, which is why maybe its opening was a little higher than The Rise of Skywalker. But that's what I wanted to mainly talk about, is that people aren't quite factoring that in. Now, in the grand scheme of things, do I think that this movie's going to make $1 billion? Yes. At this point, I do. It was in question after opening weekend. We saw a very strong Christmas. So I think it could still, I guess, technically not make it, but I think it's going to make it. even if it didn't, I think they would leave it in theaters long enough till it did, just if they were that close. Is it going to make more than Last Jedi? I will say, unless we see something crazy over the next couple days, almost certainly not. And listen, Cinema Blend, who I got that article from, has articles coming out why we shouldn't compare The Last Jedi to The Force Awakens or to The Rise of Skywalker. And come on, yes, we should. The Rise of Skywalker is the very next one. It's the finale. We should be comparing it to that. And when it makes less, it will be a failure. Now, I had someone say if it makes less than The Last Jedi, it will be a failure. And if it makes less than $1 billion, it's a disaster. Listen, this is the end. The finale. This should be doing gangbusters. The Force Awakens made more domestically than Avengers Endgame. Just think about that. That's what this movie should have been doing. We should have seen a crescendo to the finale. But instead, we see a decrescendo and a whimper. So, either way you look at it, if it does come in less than Last Jedi, that is a huge failure for them as far as I'm concerned. Financially, yeah, sure, they're going to make a little money on this. They spent a ton of money on it. But in the grand scheme of things, Star Wars, Disney Star Wars should be making a lot more than this, and it's not. Let me know what you guys think about these box office numbers. Should they consider it a huge win? Should more like what I'm saying, you take into perspective the fact, you take into account the fact that we haven't hit that Christmas boom for The Last Jedi yet in comparison, and maybe wait until Monday and Tuesday numbers come in. I think then we're going to see Last Jedi pull away again, to several percent, maybe about 10% higher, tracking about 10% higher than The Rise of Skywalker. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, smash the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.